Without a shadow of the doubt, the most heartbreaking stat when it comes to physique transformation and people trying to lose body fat is the fact that 97% of people who try and change their body shape will either end up at the exact same place that they started the diet at within a year, or if not, be heavier after a 3-year period. I need you to think about that. 97% failure rate. So only 3% of people actually get the result in which they want. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a pretty grim stat to me, and one which could make you throw in the towel or not even try when it comes to changing the way that your body looks. However, the optimist in me thinks that, okay, what are the 3% doing differently? And part of what we do inside the coaching program 23 Lean is empower our clients to actually not just transform for a 6, 10, 12, 8-week period, whatever it may be, but to actually give them the tools to transform for life so that they can get a result in which they get to keep rather than just for a short time period. And a massive part of that mindset change and the ability to be one of the 3% who actually get to keep their results all lies within identity and who they actually see themselves as. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 5 ways that you can upgrade your identity as of today so you can allow yourself to step into the shoes of the lean person, of the muscular person, of the person who looks and feels incredible 365 compared to most people who just have fleeting moments of looking and feeling good. And like we talked about on that previous video, go ahead and check it out if you've not done so already. The new life in which you want will cost you your old one. And there are gonna be things that you're gonna have to do differently if you want a different outcome from the rest of the people that you see trying to be successful at this thing, but just carry on flopping. Super quickly, for those of you that are brand spanking new to me, my channel, my name is Sharif Lawton, CEO and founder of a coaching company called 23 Lean, whereby we focus on the other 23 hours of the day, which most coaching companies just leave you completely unattended and unsupported for. Yes, we focus on the training and to get you a fantastic result when it comes to the way that you look, but also we focus on nutrition, lifestyle management, mindset, sleep and stress strategies, what to do on the weekend, how to manage emotional eating, how to manage holidays, alcohol, and everything in which you need to get a fantastic result from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed for a long-lasting physique transformation. And we've achieved fantastic results during the course of a 5-year period, which 23 Lean has been open for, with busy CEOs, executives, mums, dads, parents, business owners, and just people who essentially have hit their 30s and their 40s and realized that actually it's a little bit harder to get into shape compared to when they were in their 20s. And the things in which they used to do simply don't work anymore, and they need a different approach, one that complements rather than complicates their busy life. Now, if that sounds like you and you haven't done so already, I would massively appreciate subscribing to the channel. Give this little video a little thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm, which is doing some crazy things right now, but I'm really enjoying the long form content, and me and my editor are putting in a lot of effort, time, and energy to make sure that we are producing high value stuff for you that you can take away and get implementing straight away. So without further ado, what are the 5 things that you're gonna need to be able to shift your identity and get you results for life? Pen and paper at the ready, let's dive in. Now, the first thing that you're gonna actually have to do is be an imposter. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, and so many people talk about having this imposter syndrome or doing things which don't really feel like themselves. But the reality is, you wanna actually act like the person who has already got the body. You wanna think about the types of scenarios in which they're at, the type of thought processes in which they have, where do they shop, how do they act, where do they go to the gym, and what decisions are they making on a day-to-day basis, which you basically need to be doing in order to be that lean person. And the way in which you do that, if you're not there yet, because maybe you're under-muscled, maybe you're overweight, or maybe this whole body transformation thing seems a bit alien to you, the only way in which you're gonna get the long-term results is if you step into the shoes, if you already act as if you'd got the result already. Now, I'm not being woo-woo here and talking about the secret and affirmations and all the rest of it, but seriously, if you just look at some of the greats in life, not even just in physical aspects of body composition, but if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, Will Smith, Michael Jordan, you listen to interviews of them, and oftentimes they'll say things like, I already got the role, I already hit the winning shot, I already pictured myself 100 million times over on that stage winning the gold medal. And so therefore, when I did it in real life, it wasn't even a big thing to me because I'd already built up the neural pathways in my brain, in my mind, that have allowed me to achieve the result in which I want. And if essentially all you're doing is following a plan, be that with your nutrition or your lifestyle management or your training, and then you don't know what to do after it, then all you're doing is adopting a plan for a short period of time. So even if you grit your teeth and it works for that short period of time, you'll never get the long-term result because you haven't actually adopted the identity of someone who gets shit done. And the way in which you do that is by a method called auto-suggestion. And that is doing the things, thinking the thoughts in which a lean person has, a muscular person has, and acting their way to success. And what I mean by that is, would a muscular person miss their gym sessions, not hit their protein goal, and be drinking every single weekend? The answer to that is probably no. So therefore, you need to do those things. Would someone who's in great shape not go out on 10K steps every single day? Would they sleep in and order takeaways? No, they probably wouldn't do that. So guess what? You can't do that either if you want those long-term results. And of course, it doesn't mean that you can't have a takeaway, can't have a drink every now and then, but your default needs to be that of a lean person. And the only way in which you do that is by acting your way to a feeling and just accepting that that's gonna feel a bit uncomfortable for a while, and it's gonna feel like you're being a bit of an imposter, because guess what? You are. Because the thought processes, the actions, the behaviors, the rituals, and the standards in which you have had up until this point has got you to a place where you realize, you know what, I'm not actually that happy and I'm gonna need to do something different. And if we consider that, let's say for instance, you wake up and you do your steps and you do your training and you hit your healthy food and you hit your macros and you get to bed on time and you manage your stress appropriately. What happens to your physique the next day? Nothing, absolutely nothing. You do it again, what happens to your physique the next day? Nothing. You do it again, what happens to your physique the next day? Nothing. It is not until you do that again and again and again and again, and oh shit, in week 6, 7, 8, 9, now I'm really starting to look different. But if you can't cultivate the consistency needed to get the long-term results, then you'll never get there. And the only way in which you do that and can have consistency is by doing the things in which you know you should do again and again and again. And the only way to do that without depleting a lot of willpower and discipline is to be the lean person. Think, act, talk, and be who that person already is. And then essentially you'll get there a lot quicker than by just gritting your teeth and following a plan. And if you're not feeling confident enough to do that already, it's because confidence needs evidence. Right now, you've got no evidence that you can do the do. And the only way in which you're gonna do that is if you act your way to a feeling, act your way to confidence, and do the things in which you know you should do to get that result. Embrace imposter syndrome. Number 2, and this is a massive one, upgrade your internal dialogue. And you might be like, what does that even mean, Sharif? Let me give you an example that you're just gonna understand straight away. Let's say, for instance, you're at a party and someone offers you a cigarette. Do you say, oh, I'm really trying to cut down now, I better not? Or do you say, no thanks, I'm not a smoker? One of those scenarios has the identity of someone who does not smoke. Therefore, the opportunity to have a cigarette doesn't even cross their mind. It's not something which they do. It's not something who they are. Whereas the type A person is like, I really want to stop smoking. I really shouldn't be doing this, but I could easily be swayed. Let me give you another example. Let's say, for instance, a vegan comes to dinner. Would you say, oh, I've got this really juicy ribeye. I know you're vegan, but I think you're really gonna enjoy it. You should go ahead and have it. No, of course you don't, because they identify as a vegan, someone who does not eat meat. The vegan person isn't gonna go, oh, you know, that ribeye looks so juicy and delicious. I really wanna tuck in, but I better not. No, because they are a vegan. So you need to update and upgrade your internal dialogue so that you are the person who gets shit done. You're not just trying to be on a plan. You're not just trying to be good. This is who you are now. You're on a one-way ticket to leanness and muscularity. And again, this is only if you want those results which can last. The 3% of the people who actually get the results long term, they have adopted a brand new identity, and a part of that is upgrading the internal hardwire inside their bodies. So stop saying things like, I'm trying to get into shape, and start to identify with someone who prioritizes their health and their physique as one of their top priorities in life. Thirdly, build a lifestyle and not just a routine or not just a plan. Think about it. If you're just being on plan, well, what happens when that plan finishes? However, if you've adopted a new lifestyle, then guess what? You have a bunch of workout gear that you can just jump into whenever. You've got a fridge full of high protein foods such as protein yogurts, low fat cheeses, fruit options, and just stuff around the house which is going to be congruent towards your goals. You're going to be that person that schedules workouts as non-negotiable appointments in which you turn up to for yourself and you simply do not miss. And you're also going to have a circle of friends or a sphere of influence around you who supports your mission and vision, understands what you want to do, and is going to push you to that next level, and is not going to be like, oh, you know, you've done really well, you deserve a takeaway and have that bottle of wine, and oh, go on, have that pint of ice cream. No, you don't need to hear that. That is all noise, and that is all someone trying to drag you back to the point in which you actually raised your hand and realized that you needed help and didn't want to be in that position anymore. And this brings me really nicely onto my next point number 4, and that is to cut off your old identity triggers. Now, I'm not naive enough to say things like, well, you know, if your partner doesn't understand that, you know, this is important to you, or your best friend or your mum or your dad, then get rid of them. You don't need them in your life and what have you. But what I am saying is that you need to pay very close attention to the environment in which you're around, because essentially environment drives behaviors. And if you're not around people who get it, who want to uplift you, who are maybe a little bit above where you are right now, can offer advice, support, accountability, communication, education, all that stuff, and you just want to go it alone in the very same environment which caused you to realize that you are unhappy or needed an upgrade in the first place, then it's not going to go very well. And you need to get very, very comfortable with being uncomfortable and cutting the ties of the things in which are now no longer serving you. Junk food, get it out the house. Accounts who either make you feel bad because of comparison syndrome or maybe even just promote mediocrity, you need to unfollow. And also feel free to distance yourself from people who are going to mock the new you and are going to just sabotage your progress, because essentially they feel uncomfortable with the lifestyle changes you're making, because it says everything about the fact that they're not and the fact that you are. And oftentimes they can take that out on you. I'm sure you've noticed it before, where maybe, again, that party scenario situation, you're trying to make a good food choice, or you don't want that second drink, whatever it may be. No, I'm good, thanks. Or maybe you're at a family dinner, right? Oh, go on, come on. And it's like, well, you can eat what you want, you can drink what you want. I'm still here, I'm still participating in the conversation, I'm still being social. I just don't want that extra plate of food. I just don't want that extra drink. And oftentimes it's the ones who are like, go on, go on, go on. It says everything about them, like I say, and the fact that they are not responsible enough or have the motivational discipline enough to make the changes in which you are, and the fact that you're now doing it in front of them can be very triggering for them. And then lastly, make decisions that your future self is going to thank you for, because every action that you take is a vote for the person in which you are becoming. So would that person miss workouts? Would that person talk negatively? Would that person believe that they can't get the job done? Would that person keep the extra large clothes in the wardrobe just in case they fail? No. That person is going to burn the bridges, go all in, optimize their environment, and really step into the shoes of the lean and muscular person, knowing that they're on this one-way trip to get there. They act their way to a feeling, they embrace the imposter syndrome, and they do the do. It's kind of like a snake or an animal shedding their old skin to get into the new one. The fastest way to become the person that you want to be is to start acting like them now. Now team, I will love you and leave you with this video. Really hope that you got a ton from that. In the next video, we're going to talk about the 3 ways and the 3 ways only in which you can burn body fat. And now I'm going to present options to you as to which one may be the best for you moving forwards. If you haven't done so already, give this channel a like and subscribe. Appreciate you all as always. And if you're confused about what to do or where to go with your muscle building and fat burning journey, go ahead and take the quiz below. It's completely for free, and it will give you the clarity on the next steps and stages as to what you should be focusing on, so that you don't end up spinning your wheels, getting nowhere fast and doing absolutely nothing. Take the quiz, get clarity, and I'll see you in that next video. Peace.